All right, everyone, get ready because today we are going on a deep dive into Toyota.
Toyota.
Yeah, we're going to be taking a close look at their stock,
Ticker symbol TM.
ticker symbol TM.
Look,
Exactly.
see if it's something that you want to be adding to your portfolio.
Yeah, is this a buy or is this a hard pass?
Right.
Um, and
It's interesting, because you're not just looking at a typical car company here with Toyota.
right.
I mean, this is a global powerhouse
Yeah.
with their fingers in a lot of different pies.
A lot of pace.
Everything from financial services to,
Oh, yeah.
wait for it, carbon-negative vodka distilleries.
Okay, now that's a curveball I did not see coming.
I know, Ray.
So we've got a lot to dig into here.
Yeah, we do.
We've got company overviews, investment reports, even a little sprinkle of Wikipedia in there.
A little bit of everything.
Just to give you that full picture of Toyota. So
A 360-degree view.
by the end of this deep dive,
You'll know.
you'll have all the knowledge that you need to decide if Toyota is a worthy addition to your show.
Investment journey.
Investment journey, exactly.
Exactly.
So to kick things off,
Yeah.
let's rewind the clock a little bit.
Okay.
Toyota's story starts way back in 1937.
Way back.
And get this, not with cars,
With cars.
but with automatic looms.
Automatic looms.
Yeah, Kiichiro Toyota,
It's true.
the company's founder, used the profits from his loom invention to launch the Toyota Motor Company.
Yeah, talk about a major career change, right?
Yeah, that's a pivot.
It is.
And, in their history is full of these fascinating twists.
Yeah.
World War II,
Yeah.
bombed their factory,
Kind of bombed it.
but then a U.S. Army truck order helped them bounce back,
It did.
which led to the development of what we know as the famous Toyota way.
That's right. The Toyota way. Right. To talk
Yeah.
about resilience.
Yeah,
And the ability to adapt, right?
definitely.
Like, that is.
I mean, Toyota way is more than just a manufacturing process.
Oh, absolutely.
It's ingrained in their company culture.
Yeah. It is part of their DNA.
All right, so let's shift gears a little bit here.
Okay.
Let's look at their financials.
All right.
Zacks Investment Research gives them a hold rating.
Interesting.
Not necessarily a screaming buy, but
But there's some interesting details in there.
yeah, there are some interesting details in that analysis.
There are.
What stands out to you when you look at their financials?
What stands out to me is their recovery from the 2008 financial crisis.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, back then, they were actually forecasting their first loss in 70 years.
Wow.
I mean, that's almost unheard of for a company of that size, but
Right.
they weathered the storm,
Yeah.
which speaks volumes about their strength and their stability.
And that strength is reflected in their market dominance.
Oh, for sure.
In 2020,
Yeah.
Toyota overtook Volkswagen
Yeah.
to become the world's top-selling automaker again.
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 10. They've done it before.
We're talking 10 million vehicles a year.
10 million. That's crazy.
It's an empire.
An empire on wheels?
Yeah, an empire on wheels. And
It's huge.
that kind of market share means they're like,
Deeply intertwined with the global economy.
oh, for sure.
When the economy is thriving, Toyota thrives, but when
Alright.
things slow down,
Yeah,
they feel it too.
they definitely feel the impact.
Yes.
And speaking of impact, they recently gave their employees the biggest wage increase in 20 years,
That's true.
which suggests confidence in their future profitability, right?
No, it does suggest confidence.
Yeah.
But it is a bold move, though, It
Yeah.
raises questions about their margins, right?
Right.
I mean, will this boost morale and productivity, or will it potentially eat into their bottom line?
Yeah, that's an interesting point.
Yeah.
And speaking of the future, let's talk about their innovation pipeline.
Okay. Let's do it.
They're not just known for reliable sedans anymore.
No.
They're making a serious push into electric vehicles.
Absolutely. And, they were pioneers with hybrids.
The Prius.
The Prius, right.
Yeah.
But now they're really kind of taking on
Yeah.
Tesla and other EV giants head on.
Yeah, head to head.
Yeah, and their partnership with BYD in China
Yeah.
is a really strategic move to tap into that massive EV market.
Huge market.
It is a huge market.
And they're not stopping there.
No.
They're even developing hydrogen-powered pickup trucks.
Hydrogen-powered pickup
It's
trucks.
backing from the British government.
That's right. That's
Yeah.
right.
So,
It's a bold bet on
Yeah.
a technology that's still in its early stages.
It's very early.
It is.
But if hydrogen does become the fuel of the future,
Yeah.
Toyota will be well-positioned to lead the charge.
They will. They will.
And beyond vehicles, they've made some strategic acquisitions.
Right.
In 2001, they fully acquired Hino Motors,
That's right.
a truck and bus company.
Which they already had a stake in.
They already had a stake in.
Yeah, so they...
Classic example of vertical integration, right?
Yeah. Vertical integration.
Where a company controls more of its supply chain.
Exactly.
Which can lead to greater efficiency.
It can.
And potentially reduce costs.
That's right.
And we can't forget about Toyota Financial Services.
Oh, no. That's a big part of their business.
Yeah, this arm of their business offers loans, leases,
and insurance.
Creating a steady income stream that's
not just dependent on car sales alone.
Right. Less dependent on car sales.
Yeah. So it's a smart diversification strategy.
Yeah.
And one that's really helped them to navigate those economic ups and downs.
Definitely.
Yeah.
So
we've looked at their history, their global footprint.
You've seen their ventures into these new technologies.
That's right.
But let's get down to brass tacks here.
Okay, let's do it.
Is Toyota stock a good fit for your portfolio?
Good question.
You know, to answer that, we need to dive into their valuation.
We do.
And here's where things get interesting.
All right.
Zacks gives them an A for value and momentum.
Interesting.
But an F for growth.
Ooh, that's a pretty mixed bag of signals.
Yeah, that is a mixed bag.
What does that tell us?
Yeah, what does that tell us about their future prospects?
I think it suggests that they might be undervalued in the short term.
Okay.
But the market's not convinced about their long-term growth potential.
Okay.
You know, we really need to dig deeper into their financials to understand why.
Well, their price-to-earnings ratio?
The PE ratio.
The PE ratio is relatively low.
Yes.
Compared to their industry peers.
It is.
And their price-to-sales ratio.
Price-to-sales, or PS.
Or PS is also on the low side.
It's on the low side.
You know, these metrics suggest that you're getting more bang for your buck.
More bang for your buck?
With Toyota.
It seems like it.
Compared to some of their competitors.
Yeah, but then we have that F for growth looming over everything.
Yeah, we do.
Yeah.
Right. And a big part of that is their projected earnings growth, which is currently negative.
That's the million-dollar question, right?
Yeah.
Is this a temporary blip,
right,
you know, due to external factors or a sign of deeper challenges ahead?
Before we jump to any conclusions, though, we need to consider their ESG factors.
That's right.
Environmental, social, and governance.
ESG, right.
Toyota's track record here is a bit mixed.
It's a little bit mixed, yeah.
Here.
They've faced fines for environmental breaches in the past.
Yeah.
Which isn't a good look.
Not a good look.
But they're also making efforts to improve their sustainability practices.
Okay.
You know, they've set ambitious goals to reduce their carbon footprint and are investing heavily in you know, alternative fuel technologies. Like hydrogen, exactly.
It's a complex picture.
It is.
Investors need to weigh the pros and cons carefully.
They do. It's all about understanding the full context and really aligning your investment decisions with your values and your risk tolerance.
So we've covered a lot of ground here.
We have.
But before we wrap up this part of our deep dive, there's one crucial piece of the puzzle missing.
What's that?
Their dividend policy.
Okay.
And any share buyback programs.
Dividends and buybacks,
And this is where our sources go strangely silent.
They do go silent, which is surprising for a company like Toyota.
It's very surprising.
It's almost like this information is tucked away in a secret compartment of their annual report.
Exactly.
Right.
And it highlights a key point, right?
It does.
For our listeners, you can't just rely on one source of information when you're making investment decisions.
Absolutely not.
This is where you need to roll up your sleeves and do some digging.
You got to do your own research.
Yeah, head over to Toyota's investor relations website.
Yes.
Pore over their financial statements.
Look at the 10Ks, the 10Qs, all that good stuff.
And see what you can uncover about their dividend history.
Yeah.
And any share repurchase programs.
Exactly.
They might have in place.
Because those details can make a big difference.
Yeah, it can.
In your overall assessment of Toyota, as an investment.
As an investment,
Right.
A consistent dividend payout could make them more attractive to income-seeking investors.
Absolutely.
While aggressive share buybacks could signal confidence in their future. Potentially boost
earnings per share.
Earnings per share.
Exactly. It's all part of the due diligence process.
Yeah, you want to have the full picture.
The full picture.
Before you hit the gas on any investment.
Hit the gas on any investment.
Exactly.
So let's recap what we've learned about Toyota in this deep dive.
Right.
They're a global automotive giant.
They are.
With a long history.
A long history.
Of resilience and innovation.
Resilience and innovation.
They're facing challenges.
Yes, particularly in the transition
to EV.
To electric vehicles.
Yeah.
But they're also making strategic moves to adapt.
They are.
And to stay ahead of the curve.
Yes, they are.
Their financials are solid.
They are, with a diversified business model.
Diversified, that significant financial services arm.
Right.
But their growth prospects
a little uncertain.
Are somewhat uncertain.
Yeah.
And they have some ESG issues to address.
They do.
And when it comes to dividends and share buybacks,
yeah,
well, that's a mystery.
That is a mystery.
Waiting to be solved.
It's waiting to be solved.
So is Toyota stock the right ride for you?
That is the question.
Only you can decide.
That's right.
But we've given you
the roadmap.
The roadmap, the tools, and the questions to ask.
Exactly.
As you navigate
your investment journey.
Your investment journey.
Yes.
Remember, this deep dive is just the starting point.
The starting point.
Do your own research.
Yes.
Consider your own investment goals and risk tolerance. And make informed decisions.
Make informed decisions.
That's right.
And we'll be back.
We'll be back.
For part 2 of our deep dive.
Into Toyota.
Into Toyota.
See you then. Welcome back to our deep dive on Toyota.
Yeah, and last time we left off with that intriguing mix of signals.
We did.
An A for value, but an F for growth.
From Zacks.
From Zacks. What's going on there?
Yeah, I mean, that is a head scratcher.
So on one hand,
right,
it seems like Toyota might be a bargain right now.
Potentially.
But then there's that looming question about
their future growth.
Their future growth. Yeah.
And, you know, and what's really fascinating here is that Toyota's situation kind of challenges that traditional growth versus value.
Dichotomy, right?
Dichotomy, yeah. I mean, this is a...
It's a future company.
Yeah, there's stats.
We're not a high-flying tech startup.
Right.
So you kind of have to adjust your expectations accordingly.
Right.
So
how do we reconcile that low PE ratio, which typically signals undervaluation, with that kind of lackluster growth outlook?
Growth outlook, I mean, are investors missing something?
Yeah.
Or are they right to be cautious?
Is there something we're not seeing?
I think one possible explanation is that the market is pricing in the risks associated with the auto industry's transition to EVs.
To electric vehicles, right?
To electric vehicles. And Toyota, despite their pioneering work with hybrids.
Right. They were early with the Prius.
They were early, but they've been relatively slow to embrace full EVs.
Okay, so they're playing catch up.
A little bit, yeah.
In a rapidly evolving market.
Yeah.
And that could explain
potentially
why investors aren't as bullish on their growth.
That's a good point.
Okay.
But, you know, they're not standing still.
Yeah.
Their recent partnership with BYD in China and their investment in hydrogen technology suggests that they are diversifying their bets and positioning themselves for a future where multiple powertrain technologies coexist.
Well, they're hedging their bets.
Hedging their bets.
Yeah, which I think makes sense.
Makes sense.
For a company of their size and global reach.
Yeah, it's not.
They can't afford to put all their eggs in one basket.
Right, exactly. And you know, their acquisition of Hino Motors back in 2001.
Way back.
Really demonstrates that strategic thinking.
It does.
You know, they brought a truck and bus manufacturer.
Fully under their wing.
Yeah.
Greater control over their supply chain.
Right. Expanded that product portfolio.
Exactly.
And vertical integration.
Has likely paid dividends.
Yeah, over the years.
Especially during those times of supply chain disruptions.
Right. We've seen a lot of that recently.
I have, yeah.
And let's not forget about Toyota Financial Services.
No, important part.
That's huge.
Of their business.
Provides that steady stream of revenue.
That's less susceptible to the
cyclical nature of car sales.
Of car sales. You know, it's like
it's a
built-in shock absorber.
Shock absorber, yeah.
For their overall financial performance.
It's smart.
It is.
To diversify those revenue streams.
Absolutely.
It creates more stability.
More
resilience, which is especially important now.
Yes, especially in today's
uncertain economic climate. Speaking of economic impact.
Yeah.
Toyota's global reach means that they're not just affected by economic trends.
Right.
They influence them.
They influence them too.
Yeah. I mean, think about it.
Yeah.
They're manufacturing plants.
Yeah.
Supply chains, dealerships. Jobs.
Economic activity all over the world.
They're a true multinational giant.
Yeah, their decisions have ripple effects.
Ripple effects.
Across entire industries.
Industries, economies, yeah.
So as investors...
we need to be mindful.
We need to be mindful of both the opportunities
Absolutely.
and the risks
Of that kind of global footprint.
of that global footprint.
Absolutely.
And while we've touched on their environmental efforts, it's worth noting that their ESG performance has been scrutinized.
It has.
In the past.
They've faced fines.
They've faced fines.
For environmental violations.
For those environmental violations.
And their commitment to sustainability has been questioned.
Questioned by some.
By some, yeah.
That's something investors need to weigh carefully.
Absolutely.
Are they doing enough?
To address these concerns.
To address these concerns.
Right. Are their sustainability initiatives genuine?
Yeah.
Or is it just greenwashing?
It's a good question.
It's important to do your due diligence.
Yeah.
Look beyond the headlines.
Yeah. Examine their track record.
Their track record.
Their commitments.
Their actions.
And their actions, yeah.
Get a clearer picture of their ESG performance.
Okay, so we've explored financial performance, strategic acquisitions,
global economic impact, ESG record.
Where does this leave us? In terms of whether or not Toyota stock is a good fit
for your portfolio?
For our portfolios.
Well, I think it depends on your individual investment goals and risk tolerance.
Okay.
If you're a growth-oriented investor seeking high returns,
in a short time frame.
Okay. Toyota might not be the best fit.
Okay.
Their growth prospects are somewhat uncertain.
Right.
And the auto industry
is facing
significant disruption. But if you're a value investor with a longer-term horizon, Toyota's current valuation, strong fundamentals, diversified business model,
might be appealing.
They're established. They're a well-established company.
They've got a history.
A history of resilience.
And
adaptation. And their push into new technologies.
Right.
Like EVs and hydrogen fuel cells.
While it is risky.
Could
potentially pay off.
Could pay off big. In the long run.
Yeah.
So it's kind of a
classic
value play.
With a sprinkle
of growth potential. But also a fair amount of
uncertainty. Investors need to weigh those factors carefully and decide if Toyota aligns with their overall investment strategy. Remember, this is just a snapshot
of a
complex company
operating in a
dynamic industry. You'll need to do your own research. Stay informed about industry trends.
Right.
And monitor
Toyota's
performance closely before making any investment decisions. Before you make those investment decisions. Okay, so we've talked about Toyota's financials.
We have.
Their global reach, even those hydrogen-powered pickup trucks.
Yeah, those are pretty cool.
But before we wrap up, there's one last piece of the puzzle.
Okay.
Dividend policy and share buybacks.
Important stuff.
Yeah, especially for investors who are looking for income.
Right.
Or want to understand how a company returns value to its shareholders.
Exactly.
Because a solid dividend or a well-executed share buyback can really sweeten the deal.
It can.
But here's the thing.
What's that?
Our sources are surprisingly quiet on these topics when it comes to Toyota.
Really?
Yeah, it's unusual.
Especially for a company like Toyota.
I know.
Yeah.
Almost like this information is hidden in some secret compartment of their annual report.
You got to go digging for it.
You do.
Yeah.
And it highlights a key point for our listeners.
Which is?
You can't just rely on one source of information when you're making investment decisions.
You got to do your homework.
Yeah, head over to Toyota's Investor Relations website.
Yeah, check out those financial statements.
See what you can find about their dividend history. And any share repurchase programs. Buyback programs. Because those details can make a big difference.
They can.
In your overall assessment of Toyota.
As an investment.
Right.
Yeah.
A consistent dividend payout could make them more attractive.
To those income-seeking
investors. Right.
Yeah.
And aggressive share buybacks could signal confidence in their future. Potentially boost
earnings per share.
Yeah. So it's all part of that due diligence. You want the full picture before you hit the gas on any investment.
Always.
So let's recap.
Okay.
What we've learned about Toyota in this deep dive.
All right.
They're a global automotive giant.
Long
history of resilience. And innovation. They're facing challenges, But
there are always challenges.
They're making strategic moves.
Let's adapt.
And to stay ahead.
Stay ahead of the curve.
Ahead of the curve.
That's right.
Their financials are solid, diversified business model, but their growth prospects are somewhat uncertain.
Yeah, a bit of a question mark there.
And they do have some ESG issues to address.
They do.
And those dividends and share buybacks?
Yeah.
Well, that's a mystery for you to uncover.
A mystery.
So, is Toyota stock the right ride for you?
That's the question.
Only you can decide.
You got the roadmap.
We've given you the roadmap, the tools.
And the questions to ask.
The questions to ask.
Exactly.
As you navigate your investment journey.
That's right.
Remember, this deep dive is just the starting point.
Starting point.
Do your own research. Consider your own investment goals.
Absolutely.
Your risk tolerance. And make informed decisions.
Informed decisions.
And be sure to let us know your thoughts on Toyota.
In the comments.
In the comments below.
Love to hear from you.
What other companies or topics you want us to deep dive into?
We're always up for a challenge.
Yeah, we are.
And don't forget to subscribe
to our YouTube channel
for more deep dives.
For more deep dives and engaging discussions.
On all things finance.
On all things finance.
Until next time.
Happy investing.
Happy investing. Yeah.